I did a video, well, yesterday and the day before, which had Andrew Bridgen in the title. And it was all revolving around an interview that he did uh, with Dr. Malik or Doc Malik, however he's, known as. This is the thumbnail for that video. I used the same one twice. My boat race on there, Andrew Bridgen, and he knows. He knows something everybody else doesn't. One of the things that he came out and said was, we are already at war. We've just not been told about it yet. He, of course, refers to what's going on with Russia and Ukraine and everything. And what he actually said was he had a conversation with the Russian ambassador who said that, we know what you're doing. And if you don't pack it up, there's going to be consequences. That's the strength of what happened. And that's why he, made his comments. You can see a link to the full video on my X account. And Paz did a pretty decent video as well, talking about that situation. Saw his vid on your X account. Very informative. There you go. It's there. There's a lot of information on my X account when I can dig it out. It's well worth going and having a look. You never know what you never knew unless you go and have a look. Well, Bev Turner put an interesting poll up on her thing. The Ukraine war has been going. In fact, I'll pull it up on my phone because some of the text is actually written out of it where I did the screen dump. But you can read that. The Ukraine versus Russia war has been going on for 10 years. The West got involved overtly rather than covertly, February the 22nd. There is no clear endpoint, no strategy, no apparent desire for negotiation from anyone other than Russia, who has offered a compromise. All MSN narrative now pointing to imminent conflict. So if Putin feels sufficiently provoked and points those missiles at us, and Boris Johnson specifically, well, let's not forget that he's scuppered any peace talks. Would the current PM want to be in charge and thus more likely to win an election, or would he rather be out at number 10, safely tucked up in a California bunker? Now, the current number of votes on that post now are 1,108. You could see here it was 910 when I grabbed the screen dump, and 80% reckon that we're going to have trouble after the election. That ties in with what Bridgen says. We've not been told yet, and you can see the thing there. It's quite a large in favour. So people are really starting to wake up to all this. They're starting to realise that, yes, we may have a few problems. And then, of course, what do we see in the press after that? And I'll show you. And I know many a YouTuber has spoken about this already. Forgive me for, getting the BBC website, but it was easy to get hold of. What is the Tory National Service Plan and how might it work? So I've even had an email about this. He's talking about bringing back national service for, 18-year-olds. So what is it? What does it mean? Well, it's a period of national service, over the course of, I think, a year. But what does it actually mean? We've got it here. Community volunteering, spending one weekend every month, which equates to 25 days over a 12-month period, volunteering with organisations such as the NHS, fire service, ambulance, search and rescue, and critical local infrastructure. This one, military training, applying for one of up to 30,000 selective military placements reserved for teenagers deemed the brightest and the best in areas like logistics, cybersecurity, procurement, or civil response operations. What do they mean, civil response operations? Over a year-long period, the vast majority of 18-year-olds would not take part in any military training at all. Now, they're saying that it's going to be mandatory, but at the same time, they're saying that it would not be a criminal act if you refused. So, if it's mandatory, why are they doing this? Now, it really does smell to me like something's in the pipeline. And are they trying to shove this in by the back door somehow, and upgrade it all? And that and the government preparation website as well. It all paints a horrible picture in my mind.